So I often get asked when people find out that I carry a 45 ACP, I would say 85% of the time, do you think 45 is better than 9? Why do you carry a 45? Should I carry a 45? Etc. So I want to talk about, is 45 ACP better than 9mm and why I think it is. So first thing you got to do if you really want to answer this question is to rank what's important to you. And remember, it's not just a set linear rank, but it's a weighted average. And so like I have these listed in importance to me: reliability, expanded diameter, muzzle energy, penetration, capacity, and cost. Now, reliability on a scale of 1 to 100 is the most important factor to me in a self-defense ammo and handgun. And that is absolutely a 100. It is the most important factor by leaps and bounds. Nothing is more important to me. My gun has to go bang every time. Second is expanded diameter. A bigger hole is going to cause more trauma. It is going to cease the encounter faster. Okay? That is very important to me. Muzzle energy is slightly below expanded diameter, but pretty much in that same category. Penetration, slightly below muzzle energy, also pretty much in that same category. Capacity is considerably lower and cost is considerably lower. So on a scale of 1 to 100, reliability is 100, expanded diameter is a 70, muzzle energy is a 68, penetration is a 65, capacity is 35, and cost is 10. Okay? So it's a sliding scale, and you have to kind of rank these things for yourself and put them where they matter, and then that's going to tell you which one is best. Now, there's one other thing on here that I don't consider for me, but it is important to other shooters, which is shootability. If you shoot a cartridge well, and you don't shoot the other one well, then that pretty much, because if you can't hit the target, none of these things matter. So that kind of goes into reliability. If you shoot both well, then you have to factor in these other things. Now, let's start with reliability. I don't carry a gun unless that gun and that ammo combination are 100% reliable. Period. I tested on the range, multiple boxes of ammo, mag changes, different situations. I have to know I can depend on this combination for my life. Okay? That's done, and it doesn't matter what the caliber is. So I don't give points to anybody for this one. Let's talk about expanded diameter. This is kind of a no-brainer, although there is some caveat here. Obviously, 45 ACP is going to have a larger expanded diameter than 9mm. But when picking my hollow point, what I look for is in any type of soft tissue. This is ballistics gel, water. Paul Harrell's meat target would be a good example for this. I'm looking for expanded diameters that are very apparently 140% of the original. Okay, so 100% would be regular diameter, right? So 40% above to 60 or 70% above the unexpanded diameter, if that makes any sense. So obviously many 9mm on the market would meet this criteria as well, but in the end of the day, a 45 that expands to 150% of its normal size is going to be larger than a 9mm that's expanded to 150% of its normal size. So there we go. Muzzle energy. I've got some cartridges here lined up, kind of not necessarily lowest to highest muzzle energy, but you've got the lowly 22 long rifle that generates, maybe 100 foot-pounds if you're lucky on a really good day. You've got your 308, which is going to generate 2,500 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. And then you've got your 50 BMG, which is, wow. So, obviously you don't need 3, 4, 5,000 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. In a defensive cartridge, I'm looking for a minimum of 200 to a maximum of around 600 for an urban environment where I'm going to be carrying. If you're in bear country or you have moose or things like that, you may want to carry more. That's not an issue for me in a daily carry situation. So I'm looking somewhere in that 200 to 600 foot-pounds, and obviously a little more is better. Here's a comparison for 9 versus 45. I went to MidwayUSA.com, took weight, velocity, and muzzle energy. Anything with an asterisk next to it is plus P. And I averaged, it's the same brands of hollow points on Midway USA for 9 and 45. And this is Hornady, this is Federal, this is Winchester. These are name brand hollow points. And averaged them all out. 9 comes to about 365 foot-pounds. 45 comes to almost 450. So a pretty significant increase in muzzle energy when you shoot the 45. The lowest 45 is 360. The lowest 9 is 326, 328. Of course, the highest 45s, 533, 590. The highest 9s just over the 400 mark. So obviously 45 has an advantage here. Penetration. If you compare apples to apples, you take a Speer Gold Dot 9mm and a Speer Gold Dot 45 ACP. And pick your favorite hollow point. It doesn't matter. Shoot them both into bare gel. Most of the time, the 9 will penetrate further than the 45. And if that matters to you, this might go higher on the list for you. I am looking for a hollow point that penetrates between 10 and 16 inches every shot. That's what I'm looking for. 10 to 16 inches every shot reliably. Both of these rounds meet this, but if penetration matters more to you, 9mm will get the edge because it tends to penetrate deeper when everything else is equal. Capacity, of course, a gun that's made for 9mm is going to hold more than a gun made for 45 because it's a smaller cartridge. And then cost. 9mm costs less to practice with than 45 ACP. And so if you are someone who gets very limited range opportunities and has a very tight budget for ammunition, 9mm might get an advantage here because it's cheaper to shoot. If you get plenty of range time and it doesn't really matter to you, it doesn't affect your bottom line and your budget, then go with what you want to go with. But if cost is a factor, 9mm gets an advantage here. So to wrap it up, guys, reliability and your ability to hit what you aim at is very dependent on you and the gun and ammo selection you have made. It is not caliber dependent. Okay? On these other factors, in the order that they are important to me, expanded diameter 45 ACP wins, muzzle energy 45 ACP wins, penetration both are above the minimum. Any really strong name brand hollow point, Lawman, Gold Dot, HST, Hydra Shot, Critical Defense, Critical Duty, the list goes on ad nauseum. Pretty much all of those really strong name brand hollow points are going to be above that 10 to 12 inch mark that most people are looking for. Everything that I carry tests between 12 and 16 inches. Okay, and that's what I'm looking for in penetration. But if penetration is more important to you, 9mm usually penetrates deeper, and so it would get a slight edge here. Capacity, obviously the same size gun will carry more 9mm, so 9mm is a clear winner here. And then cost, 9mm also a clear winner. Although when it comes to hollow points, they're about the same price per shot. But when it comes to target ammo, 9mm is cheaper, period. So, in the order I rank things, 45 is better than 9. But if someone asks me, is 45 better than 9? It's always going to start with those magic 2 words. It depends. You have to rank what's important to you. If penetration is number 1, 9 gets a slight edge. If capacity is number 1, 9 is the clear winner. So it just depends. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate your support.